For homework tonight, you have to trace these characters for lesson 19. This video is to introduce those characters. The first character is ho, which means after. We've seen it in yi ho and ran ho. The next character is mei, which means every. It has the sound portion mu, which means mother. We've seen it before in Shanghai, and I introduced that the mother radical was this shape, which got turned on its side and then squarified to help you remember. Here it is in Shanghai, and then it has this piece on top. You can remember mother wears a hat every day because we see this in Mei Tian, every day. The next character is qi, which means to straddle or to ride. We see it in qi zixing che, to ride a bike, but we've also seen it in qi ma, to straddle or ride a horse. That's why the character has the horse radical. You don't have to trace this character, but it's part of 自行车, ride a bike. 自 means self, because 自行车 bike means self-propelled car. 自 means self. It's also the nose radical, because when Chinese people refer to themselves, they point to their nose, because that's where you breathe in. It's where life starts, as opposed to the Western method of thumping our chest, where the heart is. 行, the second character of 自行车, bicycle, means go, walk, or travel. And it was originally a picture of a crossroads, and it's been modified to look like this. 行. It's also a word for okay. If someone asks you, 我们去打篮球好吗? You could answer 行. The next character is 从, which means from. It's two people, one person, moving from here to here. We see it in the phrase 从到, from to. The next character is 到, which means to or arrive. It's a picture of a bird crashing down to the earth radical from the sky. The bird has arrived from the sky to the earth. And then you add the knife radical, because of course you're going to knife that bird once it arrives. The next character is 走, which means walk, and it looks like the foot radical, which we've seen before, but instead of a head on the little person, you have the dirt radical, because you walk over the dirt. The next character is 路, which means road. It combines the foot radical with the 路 sound. The next character, 船, is boat. It was originally a picture of a boat. Here's the rudder, and here's the seats, and it still has the boat radical in it. It looks like a boat with a rudder, and you have paddles and the two people. Unfortunately, the boat's open, so it's going to flood. And then you have the chuan sound next to it. This character you don't have to trace, but we're using it a lot in this lesson when we say 先, 然后. 先 means first, 然后, and then. We've seen it before in 先生, Mr., and it means first. It has a picture of the roots under the ground and the first shoots of spring. The next character is 然, part of 然后, and then. It has a modified moon radical, the dog radical, and fire. Characters you don't have to trace, but we used a lot in this lesson are 平, part of usually, 平常. 平 means equal, and it's a picture of two scales. 常 means often, and it has the towel radical, because you shower often, and then this shape, which is the sound, which I illustrated as someone who's come out of the shower and has crazy hair. We also used 来 a lot in this lesson. 来 means come, and here it's been illustrated as someone with a hat and mustache, but I always think it looks like, because you draw the cross first when you draw it, and then you draw what looks like two arms, so I think it looks like someone being crucified, which is great because it has the memory aid of Jesus is coming back.